Two, what up?
What's poppin'?
What's the word? Pouring live. What's the word? Everybody good? I see the families here.
What's good? What's good, y'all? Sorry for the delayed start. Had a little issues with the technology out here, but it's all good. Shout out to everybody, man. On the check-in. Appreciate y'all. It's gonna be a classic, legendary show.
Buffalo in the house. What up, Buffalo? Shout out to Griselda. Shout out to Tanner Talk 4.
Greetings and salutations. How you, brother?
Yeah, what's good, bro?
What's up, brother? We got the mute on. Yeah.
There you go. You got to. I see you, man. Posted up. You like you getting your Zen master on.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
How you
Can't
feeling?
hear you.
Yeah, there you go. Now we hear you. We feeling good,
All
man.
right, man.
What a day.
Good, man. Glad to be here. How you feeling?
We
Good,
good, man.
good, man. You know, out here in the tropics, tropic life.
The trees may have given it away. Yeah, you got your
Look,
Zen
now I'm gonna
master.
stay real quick.
You
Yeah, I
definitely
can
got
hear
your Zen master on, my guy.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
we're on a slight delay, I think.
You can hear us now? Yeah, you can hear us? You can hear? Guess not.
Maybe you can't.
Yeah.
You can hear? It's delayed on his
On his
It's
end.
coming through delayed.
Yeah, I think.
We can hear him good on our end, but it's coming through delayed on our end. So
Yep,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
all right. So yeah, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. First and foremost, shout out to everybody that has shown support throughout the years. 2 years anniversary for Market Mondays. That means a lot. You know, we started Market Mondays in the middle of the pandemic, and that was something that, you know, most people wasn't really, you know, considering was going to be, you know, a successful show to start a stock show in the middle of the pandemic, but took off like wildfire and has become a cultural phenomenon. And 2 years later, this is where we are. So we are at a pivotal moment for Market Mondays. Not only is it a 2-year anniversary, we'll be doing some stuff later on in the show to celebrate. I just decided to probably give away some money, some cash apps at the end of the show, just to show our appreciation, just to show our love. But we got a big show. It's fitting. We have a big show in Houston, Texas.
Don't say.
April 23rd, next Saturday. So next Saturday, listen, guys, you got about 10 days left. Almost sold out, but there's still tickets available. Houston, Texas, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Market Mondays live. We don't really do live shows that often. The last live show that we did was Apollo, and that was on Black Friday. So this is almost 6 months later.
Sold out, by the way.
Yeah, this is 6 months later, and we do the second live show at Houston, Texas. So I'm gonna break this down and just explain why this is going to be so legendary. Of course, we will be there. The master investor will be there. When you get your ticket, right? When you get your ticket, you get 1 year access to the stock club. You get 1 year access to Sniper Trading Room. You get 1 question and answer session for everybody that attends with Ian. 10 assets over liabilities hoodies will be given away. 10 Red Panda hoodies will be given away. 2 iPads will be given away. 10 people at random will win a VIP day where you go to a private dinner with Ian and the dream team to build, to ask questions, to, you know, network, to fellowship. 1 person will receive a live trading session with Ian. And he'll give you all the tips and teach you about the mistakes to avoid and things of that nature. 10 pair of Red Panda shorts will be given away, by the way. And 10 pair of Red Panda shirts will be given away. So it's going to be a complete vibe. A few other, we got someone out. I want to just give a couple of surprises because I feel like, the time is ticking away and I want to just let some people know who's going to be there. Chris Senegal, my brother Chris Senegal will be in the building.
Yes, sir.
Talking about real estate. And we got the boss hog, Slim Thug.
You just giving it away like that?
Slim Thug, we got to
Hey,
make
man,
it.
come on.
Yeah. That's what we doing.
Slim Thug will be in the building.
Houston zone.
And we might have a few other surprises.
You never know.
When we went to Apollo, we had Jim Jones, we had Santana perform, Dipset, Styles came out and performed. We had MG, the mortgage guy, come out and talk about real estate. So, you want to do something similar to H-Town, but bigger. It's going to be 2,300 people. You get to network with them. We'll probably be out on town that weekend, catch us in traffic, network and build with us. It's going to be a legendary vibe, man.
Yeah.
Houston, Texas. I tell this story so much. I hope he doesn't, feel away when I tell this, but Wall Street Trapper is one of these situations where how I met him was at our networking event in Houston, Texas. This is before he was who he is now. And he came, he introduced himself to me. And the long story short, we built a relationship. I said, all right, I'm gonna put you on the podcast, and put him on the podcast. 2 weeks later, he was in New York, put him on the podcast, and nothing was the same since. So I say that to say, obviously, every single story doesn't happen like that. But if he didn't put himself in the room, if he didn't put himself in that room, who knows what would have happened? Who knows how the future would have played out? So he took the initiative, bought a plane ticket, came to Houston. That was the last time we in Houston.
Yeah.
This time we're coming back to Houston. Who knows what could happen? Mike Brown's another one. Mike Brown came to the networking event, introduced himself to me. I met him, put him on the podcast, and he raised like $300,000 for his equity crowdfunding.
That was a legendary run.
Yeah,
14 days. That was incredible. Shout out to Mike Brown, who also introduced us to Kwame Uncle. So had we not met Mike, we never would have met Kwame, who has amazing things going on in the virtual world. We've done some work with them. So it's just about being, like we said, man, it's not about being in the right place at the right time, it's being in the right place all the time. So anytime you hear any allegiance in your city, in your town, in your country, that is definitely the right place to be. Last time we shut down Houston, we saw what we did in Apollo. Shout out to Fat Man Scoop, our brother who was there. Shout out to Seth's One who was there as well. It was a New York affair, and so it's only right. We do a home and home with the hometown of Ian Dunlap, the master investor himself. It's going to be crazy. We coming in town early, we're going to be there late.
So Houston, and like I said, we're gonna have a bunch of surprises for you guys. So Houston, Texas, the tickets are available. I pinned the link in YouTube. You can go to the description of this video before they sell out. Extremely reasonably priced too. So get your tickets. Houston next Saturday. We'll see you there. All the vibes, and there's nothing else to say about that. Big week for EYL. Mobile home investing is one of the first episodes that went viral for us. That was an extremely legendary campaign that Byron and Shanice went on after they came on. So now it's the evolution 2.5 years later. Now they're not talking about buying mobile homes, they're talking about buying mobile home parks. That episode comes out tomorrow, a how-to instruction, talking about leveling up. They went from buying mobile homes to buying mobile home parks. $1 million, multi-million-dollar operation that they got coming in, cash flow out the wazoo. So this is, if you enjoyed the first episode of how to buy a mobile home, this is the graduation of that, how to buy a mobile home park. And he's talking about mobile home investing as well, but this is the next level, mobile home park investing. Another area of real estate that a lot of people don't talk about, but extremely, profitable. And yeah, a lot of good things. So that comes out tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is like it's one of our first like where are they now type segments where we got to see the people who actually say they were going to do these things and then apply the information and actually did them. And so we're very, very, very proud of them and everything they've accomplished and all the people that they've helped along the way. It was like one of our first, I think it probably was our first viral video. Like that episode was #1 for so long because people had never heard about mobile homes in that sense. Everything we ever thought about mobile homes is from 8 Mile, or we thought it was trailer parks, and it was like, you can make money in this. And they were at the forefront of all that. So shout out to Shanice and Byron because they revolutionized the game. And this is one of those, another classic that we're gonna put out in EYL fashion. Nothing but hits. You know how we do.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Disclaimer.
Yeah, let's do it. Real quick. Ernest, Red Panda family, want to let you know about a great choice if you're looking to bank or invest. Ally is a leading digital financial service company with passionate customer service, innovative financial solutions, and our relentlessly focus on
Slight delay. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay. If you guys can hear me, I know Troy's going to finish the disclaimer, but do your research. Trading has considerable risk. Please consult your advisor. Please do not invest any money that you're not willing to lose. This is brought to you by the good people, of course, at EYL, Red Panda, Ally. Love you guys dearly. Hopefully the good brothers will be back here in 1 second. In the interim, if you guys can put in any questions that you have for, and I'll say this, thank you guys for believing in the mission. All my Red Panda family, all my earners, thank you so much. This 2 years has flown by, right? But I want to thank you guys for believing in the vision. When we first started the show, for those of you who were like there day one, back when I used to have the monitors in back of me and, going over charts. So I want to tell all of you, thank you for being there through every iteration of the show. Through the good, bad. If I've made you money, please put yes in chat. If this has brought you value, please put yes in chat. But I'm here to continue to help, and I want to make sure that going into this next year that we make you even more. So even tying into the mobile home episode, maybe, just maybe, if you invested long term, we'll talk about it tonight. Swing trade stocks, long term hold crypto, swing trade crypto, get into real estate, whether it's mobile, multi-unit. When a recession comes, you will be recession proof. Shout out to the good brother who runs that company. I'll be at the conference soon. But yeah, you want to please write this down. Lesson number one, you want to pair multiple investments together so you're never losing in any particular market. You have to. That's the number one thing you have to focus on, because you don't want, the biggest mistake any investor can have is just having one way to invest in the market. It is a huge mistake. So that's the lesson I want to give you guys tonight to start off until the good brothers get back on. But we have an amazing show lined up for you tonight. We definitely are going to talk about Elon and some of the craziness he's been doing. And if Twitter is a good stock, I'm going to tell you guys what you should be doing in this current market to win, even though the Fed is crazy. The Russia-Ukraine situation is a little bit tumultuous. I'm going to guide you guys through tonight what to do, but I want to wait for my brothers to get back on in the interim. But please put your questions in YouTube and Zoom, and we will be able to get to them tonight. And Janet, if you want to hop on in the interim, you can. And we can go reverse order if you like. I told you guys last week, Elon is Kanye and 50 Cent in one.
I was eating my dinner while I was, I think they're on now.
Okay, we're back. Scotty, we can breathe. We got it. We think we all we got.
No. They didn't believe in us. God did.
Listen.
I was eating,
All right,
I think
man.
they're on now.
We will not lose.
Yeah, they didn't believe in us, but God did.
Let's get it.
We will not be stopped. But real quick, let me just finish out to my good people at Ally. They're the leading digital financial service company with passionate customer service, innovative financial solutions, and are relentlessly focused on doing it right for both customers and our communities. So you can save, invest, and spend on things that matter most to you. For everything we need, we're all better off with an Ally. Shout out to good folks at Ally. Shout out to our UM team. We got some major things that we're lining up for y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed the South by Southwest situation because there's a lot more where that came from. Real quick, here's a disclaimer. Y'all know how this works. Do your own research. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate y'all. Keep doing your homework, keep applying the homework, keep executing, and then after you do that, tell a friend to tell a friend. And let's keep this thing going. This is a financial revolution. It cannot be stopped. It will be monetized and televised, y'all.
Yeah, so let's get into this. Elon Musk decides not to join Twitter's board of directors and discloses that he has $11 billion short position in Twitter. So this is interesting news. Is it a good time to invest in Twitter? Stock dead? Should people be shorting Twitter? It went up like 25% when they announced that he was going to be on the board of directors. But now it's reversed. So what do we feel about this news with Elon?
Elon is doing what he should do. He is the greatest troll master that there is. So Elon is always going to do what is best for him.
Yeah, I
would
mean, I
say,
saw.
I think Twitter is a neutral. I wouldn't short it. I wouldn't go long. And if one person can affect the stock that much, it's not of much value. I mean, I think it's a good trade, but if I'm looking at the charts right now, I wouldn't touch. It's probably going to fall back down to like 38.29. But after that, I wouldn't touch it at all. Josh Brown made a very interesting point last week that the value of Twitter since IPO has not changed virtually that much. So if you held since IPO, you at most you may have gotten like 6-7% gain. In the tech sector, man, that's dead money. You don't want to waste money for that long. So I wouldn't touch it right now. Maybe Twitter won't let Elon have the control that he wants, but there are so many better companies to invest in long-term opposed to Twitter. And with him having that considerable stake, I mean, he has a bigger position in Twitter opposed to Vanguard. I wouldn't touch it right now. I really wouldn't. There's a bunch of other companies. And to be honest, there's probably 8 or 9 better cryptos you can invest in right now than Twitter and get a better bang for your buck.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think there's so many different opportunities in the market that you can put your money in long term. We've seen this happen before. Elon just has this effect on companies, right? Like he says that he's going to take board membership or apply for it. He has 9% stake in it. And then he goes on a Twitter rant on Saturday, and by Monday, boom, the rug is pulled over, and now he doesn't want to do it. But for the people who invested in Twitter, I know one of the things he was trying to push for was to have them to make money on advertising and have a new revenue model. And I guess, it's kind of something that they weren't looking at and kind of opposed to. But I mean, the shares went up, like you said, it went up 2%. Even today, it went up after the news that, that he wasn't going to be part of it. And like you also mentioned, and 20% increase since the talks of him even being involved in April 4th. So it could have been a nice trade, but we always preach long-term investing. And so there's plenty of opportunities in the market. I wouldn't touch it. I'm with you on that, Ian. So, definitely look for other things. And we'll talk about a few of those later on.
Yeah, I think it's obvious when you look at Twitter's chart that, I think, they're a good company as far as they provide a service, and a lot of people, rely on them for information, but they still haven't figured out how to really, earn a lot of money. The stock chart has been terrible since 2013, and they have no
10 years.
Yeah, it's almost a decade, and they have no viable path forward to really trailblaze. I don't see how they become extremely profitable or how they become, bigger than Instagram or bigger than, Facebook or TikTok. It's like, so one of these companies that just because, the company is a decent company doesn't mean it's a good stock to buy. No matter who is involved with it, it wasn't a good stock even when Elon joined the board of directors. I mean, he's not going to save the company overnight. So you got to be careful with that. So it's an important lesson for investors. Never get caught up in emotion when investing. Look at the technicals, look at the fundamentals. If you look at the technicals and you look at the fundamentals of Twitter and you look at the landscape of social media, you would have never put money in Twitter.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those companies where you hear it, it's very trendy. And because you hear it so much and you hear people talking about it and that people use it, you think, oh, this is a great investment. And that's kind of what we've seen. Even we learned that early with Uber when we were doing the technicals and the fundamentals on Uber. And we're like, wait, this company hasn't made any money. We use Uber and we know it and we have the app and everybody uses Uber Eats. But if you look at the fundamentals, they hadn't had a profit. And I think they just made one in the fourth quarter of last year. So it's like one of those things. A lot of times we hear companies. Yeah, but is it a good investment? And so we've got to start looking at the technicals and the fundamentals before we make a sound decision if we're going to invest.
Yeah, and my last point on this, on the security side, quiz question for everyone. Which currencies or securities has Elon been able to cause the rise of? And out of those securities, were they top 50 in that category? Whether it was crypto, stock, real estate, the ones that he is influencing, they are low float, low value, which is smart because if you look, he may be trying to do a car icon takeover kind of strategy, and he may not be able to get the percentages that he wanted. I mean, ideally, if he can take over 20% to 24% of Twitter, he can have some change. But at 9 to 14.5% max, I don't think it's worth the risk that he was taking at the moment. But the ones he's been able to influence, one person really cannot influence a quality company or quality crypto. Almost impossible. Only the Fed can do that. God and the Fed.
I see people putting Doge in the chat, but the key word of what Ian just said was quality. A quality crypto, not a pump and dump or one of these meme coins that we're going to just ride up and then we watch Elon go on Saturday Night Live and we're waiting for this thing to explode and nothing happens and then it actually tanks. Quality.
Yeah, but that's an illustration. The ones that he has moved were lower quality. Like Doge was a great trade. I know some of you guys beat up on me about that trade, but it's fallen to the price that I predicted will fall to. If it's a top 15 company, he won't be able to influence it that much. So if he mentions something, think of it as a good trade and not a good long-term investment.
So what should investors be doing in this current market? It's a very volatile situation. Inflation is still high, interest rate hikes, stock market is down, crypto is down. What are some things that investors should be doing?
I mean, I definitely want to all chime in on this, but when you had the quick outage, I was saying one of the blueprints that I want people to use is to invest long-term into stocks, swing trade stocks if you're into that, but only the top 20. Don't go for low quality or penny stocks. Number 3, long-term in crypto, swing trade crypto, and then I personally add futures. What I was saying when you guys were out, if they add the real estate component, now you kind of created your own economic moat to never be down. Because what's the probability if you got in at a good price long term that an Apple long for 5 or 10 years is down, an Apple swing trade is down, long Bitcoin is down, Bitcoin swing trade, and no one's paying rent at the same time? The probability, and we've talked about it before, and I'm going to tell you guys this on the 2-year anniversary. I'm begging you, if you really want to get rich, please go watch every episode of Market Mondays. For those of you that have, man, I love you guys dearly, and you guys have made a killing. But we've told you before, you need a business plus investing long-term plus knowing how to trade. Go back to episode 70. Shah told you a great pick with Franklin Dynatech, still producing very well. And I've also given you the strategy for futures, what target to go for, a very short target. And if you don't overtrade, honestly, and I've always said this, and I know some people don't like it, but there is no such thing as a bad market, only bad entries into it. Mm-hmm. If you truly have a portfolio that is protected from losing, or you have enough assets in place, your entire portfolio will not be down. It won't be. That's why when we're on episode 70, I said, hey, go long ES and short ZB, the bond market, which is falling apart. You should be killing on the bond market right now in the VIX and a couple other commodities if you have that. But if you only have one is the loneliest number and the worst number in business. You never want one way to be able to invest into the market. You want to make sure that you're able to print money in any market, no matter what happens.
One is the loneliest number. One is too close to none.
I want to touch on the key point of what you just said was that don't overtrade. In fact, so I was looking at my portfolio just personally, and I'm like, probably since February, I can count my hands the amount of trades that I've made, only because I had my plan for the top of the year where I was going to go. I saw the market pull back. Boom, I saw my entry points. There's no bad time, right? It's just about where you get in at. And so I can literally count my hands since probably like mid-February, the amount of trades I've made, because it was like, all right, I see the market's volatile. I'm watching the VIX. I'm watching everything, right? I'm like, all right, well, I can be patient now. Like I can't stress that enough. The market pays those who are patient. Shout out to Ronnie Brown. We actually ran into her in DC last week, and she was like, look, I didn't believe what you were saying about the market being patient until I saw one of the investments that you put me in actually have a return the way it did. And so sometimes you just got to see things. So don't overtrade, be patient, pick your spots. It doesn't have to be 20, it doesn't even have to be 10. Sometimes it could just be like 5 trades that you've made, and you got to be comfortable with that. And you have to know, like, okay, this is cool. When it gets back to these points, like I remember saying it maybe.
Only wait for your spots.
3 months ago, I was like, yo, if we see Microsoft get down to 277, 276, this is a point for me. And it did it twice in the past 3 months. And so, all right, bet I'm going to add more shares here because I'm trying to, like I said, I tell everybody we're going to be $100 1,000 shares. And so we did that with Apple. Now it's time for me to do it with Microsoft. So pick your spots and just be patient and don't overtrade.
How many trades you do since February? 5?
5 is the number. 5 is the number.
Can I be honest with y'all? I'm not gonna rant, even though I had well, this is not pineapple juice. This is
but you promised them.
Right. Please put in chat. I will only wait for my spots in which I will get the best return. The biggest mistake I see all traders make is you should wait for 113.20 and it pumps to 124 and you're like, man, I'm gonna put 10,000 in at 124 and then it flies back down and you're like, damn, I want to hear Ian tell me I should have waited for it's a lot. And the only true advantage, and Frederick said this on the stock club call last week, the only true advantage as retail investors that we have is to be able to hold our trades longer and pick better spots. A lot of retail traders are trying to act like institutions and have to trade every day or every week. Institutions and funds do that because they have to give clients a certain return by a certain time because clients are not staying for a 2 or 3 year period. Mitigate risk by taking less trades. And if you just do 12 trades a year, maximum 24, you can hit a home run out the park and be okay.
Yeah. So let's go to this. I posted this on Instagram, and they got a lot of traction, a lot of feedback, a lot of comments. And Elon Musk was reported as saying that in the near future, human beings could download their brains to robots. So as you know, I said, like, if it's if he said that, then obviously they already have plans, and a lot of people are like, well, that means they already did it. Possibly. So what are your thoughts on Elon Musk saying that human beings will soon be able to download their brains into robots?
Oh, baby. Let's get into the little Alex Jones conspiracy files, right? I saw somebody put it in Zoom, but I mean, if you watch Black Mirror, you've seen that being talked about. And I think 8 months ago, I was saying, hey, being able to download a human consciousness and put it elsewhere. We also have to worry about digital or conscious slavery as well. That's one thing that's not being brought up. So for hypothetically, if they can put people in jail for 40 to 50 years now, what will not stop them from taking their identity and consciousness and uploading them into the cloud, hypothetically, and then extending those sentences? So I know everyone wants to extend life, but what's the point of extending life if people live longer and they are not better to one another? Scary. I love technology dearly, but this is one of the things that absolutely terrifies me. And yes, if he said it, they have either already completed testing or they're very close to doing so.
Yeah, it's one of these things where, I hate to be a conspiracy theorist because I only like to talk about things that I know or things that's actually happened and I can prove it. But I mean, some of this stuff is kind of obvious. And like I said, a good preview to the future is Hollywood. If you watch these movies, the imagination is extremely powerful. And most of these things that's in Hollywood, like it's a prerequisite to what could potentially happen or what will happen in the future. So yeah, when you talk about, downloading your brain, you also talk about, like you said, downloading your consciousness and all kinds of different things. And actually it's making one more step to actually humanizing artificial intelligence. Even the whole term of artificial intelligence is kind of concerning because it's like, you're actually taking one step further to actually making human beings.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. And that's for a variety of different reasons, like cheap labor, for a more, military, for all kinds of different things, for more people that will actually, listen to what you're saying and not fight back until they actually do fight back. So, I hate to go off on these tangents because I don't want it to be like a conspiracy theory show, but it's important to keep this in mind for a variety of different reasons, but extremely important for business. I mean, since this is a business show, like pay attention to the trends that's going on and just don't be, on the sidelines, just looking at it, like actually know like what's going on. And if you don't agree with this, then this is something that you should at the very least be aware of so you can know how to, potentially move in times that this actually increases in a wide scale.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that everybody should be paying attention to, especially anybody that looks like us. When we talked about the level of jobs, 42% of the jobs that can be automated are employed. We're the people who are employed in them. And so if we're talking about robots and we're talking about human intelligence, right, it's just a matter of time before those beings and those creatures or creations will be taking the jobs that many of us and the people that look like us already occupies. And so it's something to definitely pay attention to. It's interesting. You said cheap labor, but more efficient labor, right? I don't have to hear the headache of somebody being late. I know that this is going to be efficient. It also goes to the response of like, oh, I don't have to pay benefits. This robot is going to be doing the job for me. And so when people can find a more effective way to actually maximize on the efficiency of the work, it's going to happen.
Well, that's one of these things that people think like slavery ended because of Abraham Lincoln, or it was like white people just got a tremendous conscience all of a sudden. It was economic. It started because of economics and it ended because of economics. Yeah. Once they realized that wasn't the most efficient way for people to work anymore, and the cotton gin came about, and now you can actually utilize machines in the field, and you don't have to deal with human labor anymore. That's really when slavery really became inefficient. Mm-hmm. So everything usually comes back to money, and manual labor has been changing over the course of time and has becoming more and more inefficient. So, and now it's going to become a thing when not even manual labor is going to become inefficient. Technology is going to become inefficient for human beings to do, because when you can have a computer programmer who's actually a robot, what's the point of having a human being a computer programmer where that computer programmer is way smarter, knows everything in the history of the world. You can put it into his system, and so it's important to understand this because it's been happening since the beginning of the time, where technology has been constantly increasing and changing the landscape and changing how we live. It's going to continue to happen. So if you're not prepared for it, you're just going to become a victim of it.
Yeah, like if you're a factory worker or you work like in these plants, right? Like if there's an assembly line, why even have humans there? After a certain point, we can have robots literally do the entire thing, assemble the machinery, put them in place, and then put them out for production. And so we got to be very aware. I know sometimes like we're like, that ain't gonna happen, but like it's happening. We saw it, like you said, Hollywood usually predicts the future of what's gonna happen anyway. We saw this in iRobot, but we saw the dangers of what happens at the end of iRobot, right? When they try to take over. So we got to be aware. This ain't a conspiracy theory. It's more of a like social awareness theory that we need to be in tune with.
Yeah.
My last comment on this, for those of you that love ESG companies, please be mindful, because this is going to give way to push of artificial intelligence even more for automation. Because if you are looking at environmentally sustainable companies, what is the greatest threat to our planet? What species? Please put in chat.
Humans.
Absolutely. So if we are the greatest threat, the greatest virus on Earth, and there's a way to take the consciousness and upload it. So even let's talk about family lineages, right? If I can ascertain, buy, plunder, or take the consciousness of an entire family, and for those of you doing your DNA swaps on 23andMe, you should stop. But if they upload an entire family, then you can eradicate technically an entire family, own them, hypothetically eliminate them as a threat, but they're still living in another world. This is not something I'm making up off of sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
Please be mindful. And then for those of you who sent me the video, thank you. Even in Denny's, they have like an automated waiter that's been going around in Denny's, and even in Houston before we left, there's like a mobile courier service that's all digital, all robotic, no humans, just going through downtown, testing and dropping off packages. So I told you guys, when a recession comes, they're going to find a way to cut costs and frame it as a way to make the world more efficient. But more efficiency usually means elimination of jobs, productivity, and prosperity for us. So please be careful in the companies that you're investing into.
Yeah, it was interesting that you used the word us, because when we were talking about the biggest threat, it made me think of Jordan Peele and the movie Us. And if you watch that from a very critical lens, this doesn't sound anything that's unfamiliar. And so, like I said, sometimes like the mind of a lot of the people and who are tapped into this space, when they make it into a Hollywood picture. It's like, oh, this is great entertainment. Nah,
Mhm.
there's a little bit more than
Some layers to it.
yeah, there's a lot. Like, really watch that movie from a critical lens. It's a really good movie. Shout out to Lupita. She was amazing in that.
Yeah. So, all right, next topic. But before we go, shout out to everybody on YouTube. 6,600 people.
Two,
I
what
need,
up?
I need you guys to do me a favor.
Appreciate you guys so much.
Please hit the like button and please share. 2-year anniversary. Let's try to crack 7,500 people if we can. We will be giving cash outs. If we crack over 7,500 people,
I'm gonna go crazy.
we will be giving cash apps. So hit the like button and share.
Somebody said cash apps.
Yes.
So, not yet, y'all.
So all right, let's talk about this. And if you're on Zoom, just log into YouTube and just put it on mute just to help the numbers. Let's talk about this. I put this in on Instagram the other day too. Block and Tesla join forces. Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey are joining forces for a Bitcoin mining plant, solar powered Bitcoin mining plant in Texas. This is interesting because we just talked about Elon's involvement with Twitter. Jack Dorsey was a former CEO and co-founder of Twitter. He's currently the CEO of Block, which was formerly called Square. I think Tesla announced last year that they own over like $11 billion in Bitcoin. If I'm mistaken on that number, put it in chat, but somewhere along the line, they own a lot of Bitcoin. One of the reasons why they changed the name to Block is because they're moving more towards blockchain technology. Square also owns Cash App, who they're making a strong push towards Bitcoin. So Jack Dorsey has been a Bitcoin bull. Him and Jay-Z has done some stuff in Africa with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin.
They own title.
So now you have, it's interesting for me on a few different levels. But the first thing is like the whole idea of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin was to empower the little guy. That's what they said. Empower the little guy, decentralization, put the strength back to the people. Now we see two of the richest people in the world coming together to work on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin mining. So that's interesting within itself. But what's you guys' thoughts on this?
I think the timing was extremely interesting, right? Like this guy is now becoming a shareholder in a company that you founded and was critical of Twitter up until that point, right? Saying that it needs to be free speech and all these things. But it's interesting. Even this play, because they were critical of Bitcoin. If you remember at some point last year, I think it was May, Tesla was originally accepting Bitcoin as payment and they stopped. And that was really because of environmental circumstances. And so when you hear what they're doing now, it's like, oh, it's solar. Okay, this is environmental friendly. And now they've teamed up, obviously, with Block and Blockstream to come with a plan. And so if people understand the mining of Bitcoin, they understand how much energy it takes. It really, like, to mine a Bitcoin, like, you really could be giving energy to a small town or like one of these small cities, like in the middle of the country. And so mining really doesn't happen it happens in the United States, but bigger in China, bigger in Russia, some parts of Canada. And so when you're talking about bringing that to the United States from a solar standpoint, it's revolutionary in the space because now you save energy, but you can still produce those Bitcoins. And so, I mean, these two obviously are revolutionary minds when you talk about technology and creating new businesses. We've seen it, some of the most, incredible companies that we've seen in our lifetime, definitely in the past decade. So to see them come together and then to see what happened like 2 days after was just like, this isn't coincidental. None of this is coincidental.
Well timed. Square needed a hit. They needed, and they have a few things that are going to come out this year that I think will be impactful. This is one of the smaller ones, but like you said, it was well timed. What's the quote? Create a problem and give a solution, like in the political space. So when they were saying, "Hey, how much it costs to mine?" Like, what does it cost to make a Tesla factory? So like, is mining Bitcoin the most unsustainable thing that we can do in comparison to all the things that are done in corporate or, drilling and mining for oil? It's like, but if you frame it in that context when everyone was fake caring about the environment, you then can say, hey, this is a great way for us to team up. As far as it being for the little guy, there is no currency, asset class, or money-making engine that the top half of 1% will not get into and the top 10 hedge funds will not get into. That's why I always kept saying, like, everyone was saying, hey, Bitcoin is decentralized. I'm like, no, it's not. And then, I dropped a little bomb for some of you about who backs Ethereum. And then Tether's going to fall apart pretty soon. Please be careful. The same ones, I want you guys to do your research on the media side, right? So not only, because if you can get media to influence the minds to then drive profit for you, you need to look at who is creating the media and who's paying them to do so. Why was no one screaming to get into Bitcoin in 2015, 2014, 2016? I was there. Rashad and Troy can tell you, man, not that many people were screaming at 2015. So normally whenever you get a push to mainstream media, it's so that the ones that are in institutions and the wealthiest of the wealthy can actually get a high return on their profit. So please be careful and be mindful. But great play for Square. I love it.
So how do you feel about Square stock? It's rebounded. It crashed. It's rebounded. It's up and down. It had a big week last week, I think. Then it kind of went down. I know you was a big Square bull.
Still am.
Very vocal about your support of Square as far as you thought that it was a good stock. You still believe in Square?
I do, but like it's at the point where you remember when Deontay Wilder got knocked out and it was like, baby, get up, please don't let Fury knock you out, right? So
Do the wiggles
I think
on
they'll
right.
have
Wow.
one more push to like 96, 67, and they'll be good. Jack and his team needs to announce what their plan is. The one thing that I am seeing, which is different than the Peloton CEO change, which is amazing. You have to tell people what the vision is so they can rally around it. So there's no reason right now unless you have some amazing information or some insight and the crystal ball shines bright, you have no reason to jump in right now. I think while they're getting their plan together, they have to get a better job of mapping out what the vision is for Square and what the vision of the company is. I think the product is great. I think they have some great assets under management in terms of product line that they have, but no one has been told, hey, here's the 5-year plan for Square. I think if he does that, that'll be great. But yeah, give it maybe 8 months and they'll be back to like 180, 350-ish. But yeah, while inflation is going up, they're going to take a little beating. So I'm screaming, get up, champ, get up.
Get up, champ. And really quickly, just to add, because we spoke about Tesla, their plant opened up in Texas last week. And this Bitcoin mining plant is also going to be in Texas. And so very interesting. Obviously, we know Texas no state tax. So a lot of the revenue is not going to be paid to the state. So, just another benefit that these CEOs are looking at, like, all right, well, let's move to places where we can actually save money and have the same amount of business.
That's a fact. Speaking well, before that, shout out to YouTube. We jumped up 700 viewers real quick. We had 7,100. So as I said, once we get to 7,500, we'll be giving out some cash apps. So keep the likes coming and keep sharing it. We made a strong improvement in the last 5 minutes. Appreciate that.
So what up?
So NASDAQ has moved up or down 1% on 73% of the days in 2022 so far. How can we take advantage of that? And to put it in perspective for people that might not fully understand what that means. So that means that it's had a lot of swings, volatile swings, right?
Good word.
Yeah, I mean, because normally it's in a range of 0.02% to 0.07%. To be at a full 1% swing, that means there's a lot of money to be made. So shout out to those of you who went to InvestFest. I gave you guys the targets for what to go for, but how to take advantage of it. If you know that the market is falling, please put this in chat. There's no such thing as a bad market, only bad entries into it. So this is the point for my hoopers, right? You have to take what they're giving you. So if we enter a place where inflation gets up to 9% and tech is going to fall, you have to short the NASDAQ, but back to what Troy said, limited number of trades. Please put this in chat. Limited number. Mike, clip this up. Nikki, clip this up. Limited number of trades, 12. You only need 12 for the year. But if you go for a big target on a day, can I be honest? Man, when NASDAQ is falling like 800, 900 points, I am elated. You would have think they would have brought Steve Jobs back from the dead and he's sitting at the right hand of Tim Cook when that NASDAQ is falling. Because now, last year, everyone was saying, hey, I want more volatility. Or when Trump first got out of office, it was like, things are slower. I wish it would pick back up. Now that we have it, while your long term is getting beat up, trade the NASDAQ future, practice 300 times. So some of you don't have to complain and make videos. So I want you to practice first, right? Put it in chat, 300.
So your
Those
joke,
who
yeah.
don't practice, don't profit, right? But if you do that, you'll be able to hit some big targets in the market and pull away 20, 30,000 out the market. Hypothetically, if you have more capital, you can trade 30, 40 contracts. You can bring out 100 grand in the trading session, and you'll be good. And that'll help you withstand some of the downsides of this falling market right now.
Yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a trader's dream right now, as my guy Jamal would say.
I mean, it's still scary. Don't get me wrong. It's not all peaches
yeah.
and cream. Like, you will see the move and take it and be like, damn, my heart is beating so fast, right? I always tell everyone, after you've locked in profit, get up, walk out of the house, maybe half or 1% do it. For those of you that do, that is an indicator in itself to help you make more money, because you can't sit and baby every trade because you'll get out too early. So get up, walk away, let it go to your target, risk $1 to make 11. So if your stop loss is 52 ticks on NASDAQ, what should your target be? You guys put it in chat. Now you have a setting that you can use, and you can go for that target and be good and profit even when the market is down.
Yeah.
Or go back to last week and listen to the Vanguard ETFs that he spoke about and do that.
See?
You can do either.
Family affair.
You can do either.
Yep.
So
Take advantage of it.
Let's talk about this. 7,300 people.
Uh-oh.
That's all we had to say. That's crazy.
Man, let me send another little telegram real quick.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Only what that Cash App can do.
Yeah, that's crazy. 7,400 people.
Oh, we
7,400
Well, Jan, I hope you're ready to take some names.
on the check-in.
Red Panda family, if y'all show up, you know I'm a clown. So tell your aunties, your mom, everybody.
Donald Trump, when he first ran for president, his slogan was "Make America Great Again." When he ran the second time, it was "Keep America Great." Will it be Save America this time? Is Donald Trump the only person that can save America?
Captain Save America.
I'll let you take it first. We were talking about this earlier, but I'll let you take it first.
Donald Trump. Well, no, I don't think he can save America. But I do feel that he probably will be a Republican's nomination, and I think he has a good chance of winning. And the reason why I say that is because I don't see any other Republican with any level of notoriety, any other, steam. Like if you ask anybody who's the second most popular Republican in America, they have a hard time coming up with a name. So
you guys put, not to cut you off, can you guys put in chat who would be the top 3 Republicans that could defeat Biden? Because like we were talking, I don't know of any.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. So I think Trump definitely has a strong chance of running again for president and winning president. That would be extremely interesting if that happens, for a lot of different reasons. But as far as the economic conversation, since this is a stock show, we have to monitor the political situation because politics and economic go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. And that's why it's extremely important to vote. And maybe at some point in time, we can actually speak to somebody from the White House. Maybe that might happen. Who knows?
You never know.
You never know. So, but how do you guys feel about that?
You know what? I'm gonna say this quietly because my parents are here right now. This is the first time they're actually watching Market Mondays in person, and they're gonna kill me.
Shout out to your parents. They're so amazing.
They looking at me right now, but yeah, I'm with Shadi, man. I don't see a competitor. In fact, if you look at the number of votes for the last election, you got nearly half the country voted for Trump. I mean, and so there's nobody with his level of elite loyalty from the Republican side. I know people are like, DeSantis. Yeah, but really, Rubio. I said Ricky, not Ricky. There's a few Republicans that we know, Like, but do they have the loyalty, like that brand loyalty that he has? I don't think so. And so it'll be interesting to see. Uh, even for Biden right now, like if you think about what's about to happen, and we spoke about this earlier in January when we talk about midterm elections, what it means to the market. This is like a critical time right now, especially for Democrats, where there's a lot of states that are up for grabs that they might lose based on the performance of the president that we have now. So it's going to be interesting. These things, I know it's not a political show, but politics does affect the economy, right? And so if we're talking about the economy and people are making laws and making jurisdictions are taking over jurisdictions that can affect us, we need to know. So yeah, man, can he save it? Not save it. But I definitely think we will see him again. We'll see him again.
Ian, your thoughts?
Sorry, Mom.
I don't think he can save it, but nothing turns around the political cycle from Democrat to Republican or Republican to Democrat like a failed economy. So this is and for the record, he's nowhere near close to Obama, but this reminds me a lot of 2007 to 2008, where the landscape was so messed up, people had to have change. Fellas, you know this, and I say it all the time, and sometimes people get mad, but like if there's economic disruption in your household, things go a hell of a lot worse than when money is flowing and sending extra flowers and extra trips and stuff like that, right? So it's the same thing politically for us. You can make the argument that we were not in this kind of war when he was in office. Don't think he was a good president, but with quantitative easing, the market did go up and things were a little bit more stable. There's too many things on the chessboard right now that could go wrong. So the Russia-Ukraine situation, we've talked about food shortages a few weeks ago. That's getting worse. So now, from my calculations, even food prices could double in the next 4 months. And they've already doubled since, right?
Tomorrow, the CPI they're going to release the CPI tomorrow, so the consumer price index will be coming out tomorrow, and so that could, right? Like I think we saw the highest since 1982 or something like that. So inflation's at a right, like you said, there's so many pieces on this chessboard.
Water crisis.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a lot, man.
One we haven't talked about. I did a poll on Twitter. I asked, does your employer provide you enough money to take care of your finance and not worry about your bills? 89.3% of people said no. So when we talk about the Great Resignation, a lot of it is because people are not being treated fairly or paid well. Like if you're going to ask somebody to give up 40 or 50 hours of their time, at least you should be able to pay your damn bills without worry. Like we are on the verge of, and not only are we going through like a Renaissance era now, we're on the verge of like a business collapse. And I really think in 3 to 4 years, we're going to see a really big employer go out of business, like how Kmart and Sears did in 07, 08 crash, and people want to say it's impossible. But man, I'm seeing people quit on the idea of the American dream faster than ever. And that starts with leadership. So
and let's just do this real quick before 7,700 people on YouTube check in. Appreciate that. That was a tremendous jump. You. So yeah, I'm gonna do something right now in the middle of the show. I'm gonna do it. I'm not even gonna wait to end the show. I'm gonna give away $3,000. I'm gonna give away $3,000 via Cash App.
We coming crazy.
Yeah, we taking $3,000.
Yeah, that's a pause. My bad. I'm rocking to the moon. Wow. Violation. Not as bad as
complete violation. There's women and children here, please.
Oh man.
Thank you.
Technical foul. You game suspension.
Why he's looking for the?
Oh wait. No, I'm gonna do three. We're gonna do 3,000, and then we'll do another 2,000 when we get over 8,000.
Big facts.
Okay.
So you got a pen by any chance?
Yeah. So I'm gonna add to that because I heard something very interesting. I think Gary Vee said it. You talked about the Great Resignation, but the way he was looking at it, he's like, look, this is going to be the great. We didn't even apply, correct? Because you got students. Damn, bro. You have students who are now going to come out of school, right? Even if they go to school, that have been investing since they were 16 in cryptocurrency. And now it's going to be tough to tell them, like, look, you went to school for 4 years, you got your master's degree, here's $50,000 for the year. And they're looking like, wait, we did $50,000 in the last 3 months.
Yes.
And so now when you have the leverage, but you don't have to rely on a career path. You can like, yo, I'm an investor, and now I can become an entrepreneur because I can fund my own dream. It won't even be a great resignation. It'll be a great, like, yo, keep the application.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we definitely have to give people incentives. And I said it before last year on the show, the job market really has not been the same since the 07 crash. I remember going into college and it was like, hey, just go to school. There'll be a job somewhere. 05, you felt the lightning up. Like I remember my dad calling me. And my mom been saying it forever too. Shout out to my mom. Happy belated birthday. I love you.
Happy belated birthday.
Oh, yes. Happy birthday to your mom.
Blessings.
Yeah. But she's like, yo, black people have been in a recession technically since like the late 90s. She's always said that. Remember in 05, my dad called me. He was at a store to pick up lumber for a construction job. He's like, there's no lumber. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? He's like, there's no lumber for me to pick up to go finish the job. And if you look since 07, that job market has not come. Like if any of you graduated like in 05 or before, remember when it was just like, hey, just go to job, go anywhere. You'll be able to get some job fulfillment. Now it's like it's almost non-existent, or the hoops you have to jump through with the application process, or they bullshit you, excuse my language, and say that you are overqualified, and then they try and belittle you in terms of pay. I think we need a true upheaval and renewal of how American business is done before we lose our edge. I really do.
Yeah, that's like 50 Cent. I heard 50 Cent. So I remember, never forget the last recession that we was in 2008, and he was on CNBC, and they was asking him like, how you feel about the recession and different things of that nature, and he was like, it's always been a recession in my neighborhood. Like nothing's really changed. It hasn't really changed much. Like, I'm saying? Like, what's the difference? Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Let's talk about this while I'm writing down the names to give the cash outs, by the way. So I'm gonna do this live and challenge anybody else to do it. That's like the equivalent of just going to the neighborhood and just throwing up money in the air. It's like some Alpo Rich Porter back in the 80s, like, you know what I'm saying?
Respectfully.
Like, just cause,
Respectfully.
Definitely, respectfully, at the highest level. Please. The bond market is falling apart and the market is down today. What is one big lesson we should take away from this?
To ignore conventional wisdom and to follow your own research. So if you look at the market, if you go back, let's say 20 years, like if you look in a recession, what happened in 2008? If you go to BND, which is Vanguard's total bond market ETF, they bottomed out at 67. We're currently at 77. I mean, if we get to 69.42, I like BND. But when everyone's saying, hey, go 80-20, 80% equities or stocks, 20% bonds, you won't lose. Now, what happens if you're down in the bond market, down in crypto, and down in stocks? We usually give up. That's why I always focus on having the best prices. But if interest rates are going to go up, what usually happens to the bond market? I'm begging you, if you take nothing else away from me, outside of the pineapple juice and the leather jacket and all that, right? Take away, no matter what happens, only you care about your money, and you have to know the best prices and where to get into every commodity.
Yeah.
Don't listen to a whole bunch of rambling going back and forth. The bond market has been sliding technically since last August. And think about it. No one after August was saying bonds were a primary vehicle to put your money in. Real estate, Turo, crypto, stocks, ETF, crypto, right? No one was saying, hey, bonds are where you should put your money. And I feel sorry for those that are getting close to retirement, because when a black swan event happens, like the one that's happening now, where it's a bunch of things happening that's making the market fall, the ones that maybe went to 50% bonds or 40%, they're getting hammered on both ends. So please always do your own research to know market.
Yeah, so I was doing some research and studying the bond market. Tell me if this is the simplest way I can put this, and maybe you could simplify it even more. Inflation goes up, interest rates go up, bond market goes down.
Very simple.
Okay.
Were you a teacher? Hey, man. Lesson plan 101. Ain't God good? Very simple. Interest
The
rates
second
go
part of
up,
that is like, what?
goes down.
Yeah, inflation goes up, interest rates go up, bond market goes down. That's the equation. That's
Yep.
not even quadratic, all right? Like a Pythagorean theorem. That's like Market Monday's equation.
That's the
You're
SAT word, quadratic. That's nice. That's nice. That's like dramatic.
Drillmatic. Shout out to Game.
Yeah, shut up.
Ian, let's talk about it. Okay. What are top 4 key VIX levels to know exactly when to buy top 5 stocks in the market?
And this
Very
applies
important.
this applies to the top 2 crypto as well. Josh had a guest on 2 weeks ago, Nick Colas, amazing interview, and he gave some levels out, and a couple people in Red Panda and a couple earners hit me and was like, yo, you hear about the VIX levels. If you guys go back to that Mark Cuban episode last year, like a year and a week ago, we gave these levels out prior to. So these are the levels in which I'm excited to buy. So if you don't want to use indicators and don't want to be on the charts all day like me, right? These are some levels you can write down and know. So $47.32 is the first level. Okay. $71.30 is the second level. You guys can write this in chat. So for those who missed it, can pick it up. If we ever get to $90.68, you can almost buy any top 5 quality stock because they do the opposite. So when the VIX is up, the market is down and opposite. And then if we ever get back to the all-time like high range of 137.64, this means all hell has hit the fan. We're probably in war, full out economic collapse, banks fall apart, true geo level contagion event happens. If we get to 137.64, you can buy up all quality. For those of you who are trying to trade these levels, this is the part that sucks, right? I remember in 2016, the VIX got to, I think, 72. Yeah, August 24, 2015. And the VIX futures stopped being able to be traded by retail traders. So on the downside, man, if I would have been able to short 4 contracts, I probably would have made like 230,000. Cut off trading. This is why I tell you guys, trading and investing is not fair. It is set up for the institutions and banks to win. So you have to know that. So even though you may want to do a put or you may want to short it, you may not be able to. But if you buy on the long side, you'll be able to take advantage of that move. So 47.32, 71.30, 90.68. And then if we hit 137.64, we're going to hell in the handbasket. But I would buy and hold these for a 5-year period. And you'll be able to get probably a 500 to 700% return if you're buying top quality stocks in the market.
That's an alarming number. So I just want to put that in context, how alarming that number is. And so when March 2020, right, at the start of the pandemic, we saw the VIX climb. What was the peak of the VIX in March 2020?
86.54.
86. And this is like the world stopping. We have no idea what's going on.
Yep.
Hundreds of thousands of people are catching this virus that is killing people.
Yep.
And the VIX is at 86. 130, like, I'm not even sure what would have to happen for it to get there. Like 137?
Yeah, the all-time high was 172.79. That was Black Friday in 1987.
87, right?
Yeah, 87. So that was like, the thing about it, if you can go study, and for those of you, if you're willing to pay for it, go pay for the data feed for that month. And if you study that, that's what really made Paul Tudor Jones great. Like, he is the Michael Jordan futures trader. That market is what made him excellent. So imagine getting to 172 and having to trade in that market. Nothing else scares you. Nothing
like
else.
What? Yeah, right. This feels like the world is collapsing at this point.
Yes. And at that time, they really thought that Wall Street could have went under. So, and then, there wasn't as much, of course, digital advances, quantitative easing wasn't as popular. Like, you were just hemorrhaging. But from 172, the next year, it got back down to $47, 47.65. Like, so if you study, that's why I'll study the true range of an asset class from beginning to end, and you'll be good. Also, for those of you in media, those of you that are entrepreneurs, whatever space you get into, go to the origin of it and study everything from day one, if you study the first 50 years of an industry, you'll see every mistake. Even in media, like when you go back and study the purpose of broadcast media, when we talk about podcasts, I won't say it, but we can see the mistakes that people are making. Like a lot of hit shows fall off because lack of consistency in content, showrunners change, concept writers change. Like we're seeing it right now with Snowfall. Like Snowfall, amazing show. This season though, whew, I don't know.
It's not good this season.
Franklin's in a tough spot right now.
What happened?
I mean, people might want to watch the show. I mean, there's people in his family that want positions of power, and they decided to start their own thing. And he doesn't know it yet, but they put some plays in motion that they maybe shouldn't have, and so we got to see how that plays out.
Remember when like power started to fall off like season 5 or whatever, 6, and it was like
3.
If any of you are watching who write on Power or Billions or Snowfall, this is not an attack on your craftsmanship. I don't want the text. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yes, for the commoners. Yes, I'm caping. Yes, I am. I don't want to ruin no relationships. But this season could have been a hell of a lot better. This is why I like The Wire, Breaking Bad, those kind of shows that sustain writing throughout the entire series are so special because it is rare. Very rare to do so.
Some may argue that doc season of The Wire kind of was a little bit boring, but we needed that for the rest of the story to play out. We needed that. Yeah. So maybe that's what this is. Maybe that's what this season is.
I hope so.
All right, Ian. I saw you typing. So I was going to.
I'm multitasking.
All right, so Ian, let's just do something that people love. Let's review some stocks. Can we do that?
Yeah. Are you able to share? Because I don't want to throw off our.
I will absolutely.
Share before we do that, I'm
gonna share with you while you say.
Charlie ready to make it rain. Shout out to Ladune.
Yeah. Ladune's on the check-in.
Yeah, I thought I saw him pop in.
Doing what up, my guy?
Hold on, before we do that, let me just, because I just sent out the first half of this, so I just wanted to say yes. So as I said, no cap in my rap. Hold on, before we start, I promised that we would deliver $3,000 in cash apps if we got over 7,500, and we currently are at what's the number right now?
Y'all better get to 10,000 because I may mess around.
We currently at 8,000. We're currently at 8,000.
Okay.
So
come on, baby.
As I said,
baby.
Nobody else. I promise you, nobody else is moving like that in real speed.
Success
almighty
in general.
Almighty Bree, BRY. Check your cash app, $500 sent.
See if we cap it.
Hallow Pockets. Check your cash app, $500
more.
Cash app, $500 sent. BG1260, check your cash app, $500 sent.
Yeah.
Prince Simba, check your cash app, $500 sent.
Fact.
Carly Letts, KarLiLetts, check your cash app, $500 sent. I think there's one other person that I'm forgetting. Check your cash app, $500 sent. Market Mondays, earn your leisure for the people. Community give back stimulus, EYL stimulus package.
It's a new one.
You'll never see nobody ever do that ever again. You'll never see anybody give away, and we're gonna give more.
Yeah.
Keyword.
If you're Red Panda and YouTube, please put Red Panda in your cash app as well.
Keyword is more.
I'm gonna get to, but we're gonna have some little cash app wars real quick.
More. We got over 8,000, so we're gonna do more. Let's get to 85. Let's have some fun, man.
Let's get to 85. Shout out to 85 South.
85 South.
Yeah. Let's do it. We got some champagne over here too. So let's do it.
God did.
They didn't believe in us.
My God versus my enemies.
God did.
Shout out to Ladone. God did.
Shout out to Khaled. He went to the Hollywood Walk of Fame today.
EYL alumni.
EYL alum DJ Khaled went to the Walk of Fame today. Did you see who he had with him?
Jay-Z, Diddy, and Fat Joe.
Diddy, really?
Good trio. Yeah. Sean Carter out there on Hollywood Boulevard. So shout out to Khaled, EYL alum. Another one.
Has Khaled written a book yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
He wrote a couple.
Yes. Two.
Wrote a couple.
Two. Keys. Major Keys. Good book.
More money to give away. Everybody just talking about it. We live it.
Ian, I gave you the power to share, my guy.
Can you share? Because I don't want us to have connection issue. Oh, well, we could. Let's get to 85 and let's go to the Bitcoin topic, and then
All right, we'll come back to it.
yeah,
All right,
let's
got
go
you.
crypto.
They
Yeah,
ain't
well,
giving
we can do
away
it
no
next week.
money because they broke. Let's talk about crypto.
You
let's
have
talk about
pineapple
crypto.
juice tonight? Because if so, I'm ready. Listen,
Yeah, we had
pina
an
colada
eventful
is
day.
different. Boy,
I never seen Shotty move so fast than I did today.
Yeah, man, I was trying to catch the dolphins.
It's called sharks in the water.
Literally.
that's funny.
Okay, let's everybody always wants to talk about cryptocurrency. So let's just get into this. Can we review some of the top crypto? Oh, that's charts. My bad.
Yeah, I want to give it a price.
Okay. What's the best? So where you want to go? Where you want to go?
Price,
China?
yeah. No, Bitcoin price.
Bitcoin price. What's the best price to buy Bitcoin?
Well, let's give us some context really quickly. Bitcoin went under 40,000 today for the first time in about a month and a half. I know Ian back in was last February, you had it at 29,000. Mike Novogratz also said it hit it. Mike Novogratz also cemented that by saying that same exact thing you said. Where are we going now?
Listen, if Mike Novogratz said it, because Mike is wealthier than I, right, and a better investor. And if you guys aren't familiar with Michael Saylor, you need to go look at what he's doing with MicroStrategy as well in terms of hyper focus. But a good price for you guys to get in would be 34,202.12. So you know I've been lighter on the entries. So please take that one. We should slide there pretty soon. That would be a good place for you to look to hold for a long period of time. I know there are gonna be some people on YouTube like, hey, I don't know. If I called it 29,000 and 32,000 last year and it hit for you, and we're coming back to those same levels, just stay there, execute, hold for a year, build up positions, and you'll be a-okay. And if we ever get to 24s, I would definitely load the boat, like 24, 220.
Does the crystal ball have anything to say about Ethereum?
Yeah, they are backed by a big banking institution.
Yeah,
Stay tuned
about that
to next week, and maybe we'll get a price next week. Coming soon. I'm learning transitions. Listen, I want to get to the Cash App part now. Please put in chat if you're a Red Panda next to your Cash App. I'm a Master Andre 3000.
8,200. Let's do it.
I didn't even know this is just a bunch of.
Let's get these Cash Apps. Let's get these Cash Apps going.
Where's the Cash App, Kenya?
YouTube.
And for the record, we was doing this before everybody. The Cash App giveaway.
Come before all this.
Captain Cash App.
That's why they call
If you were at the Apollo show and went to the duffel, listen, tell them if they not haven't been to the Houston, like if they worry about if they should get a ticket. Some people got like a 5x return on their ticket at the Apollo show from me personally.
Oh yeah.
Look,
in hand.
Oh yeah.
Fellas, don't move the ladies out the way this time either.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Yeah, nah, he wasn't pointing at you. He was pointing at me, bro. Man, it was
elbowing the sisters to get to the front.
To get to the mister.
I'm not that cute for you to move nobody out the way for me. Hold up,
Jesus. Jeez.
Yeah. Jeez. The most exciting show on the planet, Market Mondays, has elevated the world, not just the culture, has elevated the world, has educated millions of people, have made a lot of people money, and we have fun doing it. And
the bruvs.
Too big to fail.
Yeah, the bruvs.
Too big to fail. 8,100 people, 8,200 people. Shout out to him, 500 on the check-in.
He's out. Yo, my God, what's up?
Shout out to Chris Diggins.
I'm not even gonna go into. I don't want to mess this up.
Yeah, shout out to One Step Away. It's a lot of love on the super chats. Irma, it's a good vibe. Calvin, this is Flossie. Shout out to Brooklyn. Patek. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
We go to Q&A. Well, so I'm about to start my giveaway.
You doing it? You doing it? The Cash Apps
right now?
Oh, you know I'm the originator. Nothing great to jazz on. What you mean? You know what I mean? I didn't know we was gonna be spicy. I would have. Boy,
2 years.
Mom and Dad. Listen, I'm behaving. Don't worry. Don't worry. They like, see the Will Smith. Will slapped it. See?
Well, free Will
Yeah,
Smith, man.
my dad was like, hey, stay clean cut.
They
Stay out
banned
the
him.
way.
They banned him. They
Free-
banned him. 10-year ban.
10 years.
Yeah, Chris Rock said he's not speaking again until he get paid.
Yeah.
As he should. That's smart.
Yeah, somebody gonna have to send that settlement.
No, I think he just means paid for like an interview or paid to. I don't think he means paid for Will
Oh,
Smith.
we'll see.
Probably both.
I think he meant settlement. I
Yeah,
took
but
settlement from the statement.
Interview. But Chris Rock, hey, send us a DM.
Yeah.
So I'll be happy to have that conversation.
Tell your team send the invoice over.
Yes. Please. I'm dead serious.
Market Mondays live. Make sure you make it out to that.
You never know. Stranger things have happened. Troy,
Yes, sir.
let me ask you this while Ian's doing his cash outs. What's the latest? Let me ask you, what's the latest stock that you purchased, either optional or stock, and why? Why did you do it?
The latest one I purchased was CrowdStrike. I got a call and it actually pulled up. It's actually performed really well for me.
Cybersecurity.
So I wasn't ready in cybersecurity, but valuable lesson, right? When we talk about when we go into different sectors, always look at the top 2 companies in the sector. And so at the time, I had looked at Zscaler and CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike really wasn't at the number I really wanted at, and so I entered a position in Zscaler. That ended up being pretty profitable. I tried to get you in that. You wasn't trying to hear it. And so when we saw the market pull back in late January for pretty much every company, it was an opportunity for me to get into CrowdStrike, and so I did. And since then, even with the market going down, I mean, that position is up. I mean, at this height, it was up almost 90%. I think now I'm probably up like maybe 69 to 72%. And so, again, it's just I'm content with doing less and making very, very good choices and getting in at points and numbers exactly where I want to get them. So like when it peeled under, I know it was in the 300s when I was looking at it, I'm like, just be patient, it'll pull back. And it did. And I struck. And so, yeah, that was my last one.
Yeah. Shout out to
You in the
Wall
long
Street.
term or my bad?
I'm in a 2024 call. I'm in a 2024 call. Yeah. And so again, like it's up 69%. Obviously, you know, we can't predict what the future of the market is going to look like, but
I
pretty good return right now.
That's a good trade. Shout out
Unless-
Trap through the oop.
Yeah. He definitely. So he when he spoke about it, it was the first time I started really studying cybersecurity companies. And so Zscaler, I know Fortinet is obviously killing it. Palo Alto was out of this world. Like that one's out of here. I don't know if it's going to pull back, and maybe Ian, you can give us a number if Palo Alto pulls back. But those are the top 2. And so I already had Zscaler. I was like, let me get number one. So I got CrowdStrike too.
Yeah. Let's go to some questions if we can. We haven't done this in a while.
Jan's got a plan. Where you at? Right on cue.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Jan?
I'm good. How are you?
Everything good.
How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Janet will be in Houston.
This is a fact. There are people who are
I will be in Houston.
A lot of people have asked for you. So
I'm excited for Houston. I went for the first time 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was amazing. So I'm looking forward to it. So let's start question and answer because I know we don't have a lot of time. Aaron, today's his birthday. He's an earner, so we're gonna start off with him.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Aaron, what's up,
Y'all should
man?
cash app him. No.
What's your cash app?
Appreciate it.
What's your cash app?
It is $AARON STICKEL. So stick with EL on the end.
Okay.
AARON.
You know I got you first, my guy.
ICKLE.
EL.
EL.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you, my guy.
Thanks, man. It was meant to be with the 2-year anniversary and the birthday today. So, I had to put the festivities on hold to be here. But
I'll do a phone call, so I'm gonna let you get off 3 questions.
No, man, I only got one. I only got one, man. So with the volatility of how everything is looking right now, when you guys are looking at charts, how are you differentiating between what you're looking at being a long-term pick, short-term pick, option swing? What are some of the things that you're looking at?
So first thing first, whenever you're looking at, so let's say we're looking at, let's pick company G, right? Go to your highest time frame first. Number one, every stock that you look at should be considered to be a long-term investment. Now, if I can just be honest with you, I'll talk to you like it's just me and you. There should be no company that you invest in on a short term that you would not hold for the long term. The biggest mistake everyone makes is like, well, I'm gonna trade Apple or Microsoft or hold them for long term, but I'm gonna trade a penny stock to get great gains. If you wait for your spot when you swing, same with crypto. So if you're going to be in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Ripple, those should be the ones you swing. And if you decide to leverage and use that as well, it should be the same thing. That way you know them like the back of your hand.
So it's really not changing the strategy of doing it like a lot of people, and I know you guys have mentioned it too, where like let's say just a general number, like 5 companies that you hold, and those are also the ones that you trade consistently.
Yeah.
So the same strategy, same
You've been
concept.
listening to me since the beginning. So you know long-term Apple, Microsoft, ESGB. You see me and me not deviating from it and knowing every part of it. Like if you want to talk about like the 9th part of the crystal ball is knowing every part of revenue, net profit, what's coming this year, 2025, what are the weaknesses of Apple, Microsoft, and you're in Stock Club. Like everyone was panicking about Apple today. I'm like, I called the price of where we're going last week. No one should be surprised, but that comes from knowing and then buying. If you just stack on and know like 5-10 assets like the back of your hand, you can set the world on fire. You really can.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just didn't know because that's what I've been doing. I know Troy was huge on just picking like a stable of horses or a stable of companies, but I didn't know if there was any variation in the strategy with how wild everything is right now, or just keeping it consistent.
Yeah, I'm with Ian on that. So if I have 1,000 Apple shares, I can still have option calls on Apple. It's a company that I'm invested in for the long term. I have shares in Disney. I have calls in Disney. I have NVIDIA. I have calls in NVIDIA. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. Like these are companies that I've researched and I believe in, and I already know their fundamentals and the technicals. I don't have to go find another company. I already did the research for these.
Right.
And it doesn't mean not to look at others, because I'll look at still every future top 300 stocks in America, Bovespa, Shanghai Index, Nikkei. That's how you really get to know which ones are moving the market. Even look at the top 20 in the Mexican stock market. You'll see why international exposure really is overrated, unless we have like a black swan event, and then it's like Japan.
Yeah, that was kind of the next step. Is now that I'm comfortable with the main stable of stocks, is broadening the scope a little bit so I can be more familiar with long-term trends of the market. So I'm not just looking at a few. So, well, that's helpful to know, though. I appreciate y'all. I thank you both for the birthday gift. I appreciate you.
Did you check your Cash App? You see it?
Yeah, you got him.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, and appreciate you guys the last 2 years being super consistent. And one of the biggest things my favorite thing about you guys is consistency. That's huge for me, and I love seeing you guys really putting in what you preach and being here every Monday, regardless of what's going on. So I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Janet, and happy anniversary.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Happy birthday again. And real quick, while we're saying happy birthday, I want to give a huge happy birthday to my man Chase. I was out in Detroit for a quick minute this weekend and met him at a restaurant just randomly. And he's having his birthday dinner with his girlfriend. And he says he's a huge supporter of Market Mondays, loves the show, loves everything about us. He was shocked that I was in the restaurant in Detroit. So, yeah. And so, I treated him to dinner. And I told him I'm gonna give him a shout out this Monday, so I know he's watching. So shout out to Chase in Detroit, and shout out to Ken. Shout out to my man Ken. If y'all don't know Ken, Ken is a day one earner. He was pivotal in even giving the name earner to our community. So shout out to Ken. Again, like I was in Detroit, had to make a quick run there, and Ken was like, "Look, I got you." So shout out to my brother Ken. Love is love, my guy.
Yeah. So the show never stops. We in Mexico right now.
Yeah.
And we still got to get the job done.
A lot of anniversaries. We'll talk about that
live,
later.
and this is live. It's not pre-recorded. It's live. So I'm sure between us and Ian tonight, probably over $5,000 has been given away. We'll give away more if we hit 8,500. We at 8,000 right now.
Y'all better go text your auntie grandma.
Boy, keyword.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like
button. Share. Share.
More money.
Yeah. Next question.
We have Mike Dolo.
Mike Dolo, he has put up an IG post about Market Mondays already. Guaranteed.
Hey, make sure you get me smiling.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Mike.
Okay, bet. Hey, yo, it's crazy. Everybody anniversary this week around this time because mine is on the 14th. I've been married
Congrats.
for 9 years.
So you've
Congratulations.
been married what?
For 9 years.
Congrats,
Congratulations.
my brother.
That's amazing.
Hey, so my question is for Ian or whoever want to answer it. How is China invading Taiwan going to affect the U.S. market?
We was actually had
I've been
that.
telling you.
That was a talking point. Yeah,
Yeah.
good question.
If China invades Taiwan and they get a hold of Taiwan Semiconductor, it is over. It's over. I'm not being sensational. I'm not doing this for views but if they invade Taiwan, and I've told you guys, I think Russia doing what they did in Ukraine was a test to see how China, which is more powerful and slightly more intelligent, to find a way to get that chess piece off the board.
When you
That's
say
one of
over,
the
when you say over, what does it mean? What do you mean over?
It's over for us as a super. That's going to be the beginning of when they go back and write history in 30 years. They're going to say that move is going to be the one that began the fall of the United States of America to be number 2. A lot of hot takes. That boy been right a lot though. If your parents weren't there, boy, you know what I'll say. I told y'all
Thank
about
you. I
the
appreciate it.
pterodactyls. Yeah, I'm keeping it clean. I love them. Told y'all about the pterodactyls. Told y'all Bitcoin 29,000, and then people still find a way to detract. Listen,
Yeah.
you knew me. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. My mama told me just execute.
Yeah.
That's all
I
I'm
have
gonna
a
do.
question for you guys. If America falls, would you guys still live here? Would you want to live somewhere else? Or what's the strategy if that happens?
Well, I think the fall, it doesn't turn into like a third world country overnight. Like it just,
No.
it's not, it's like Britain, right? Like UK is still the UK. They're not the most powerful nation in the world like they once were, but they're still the UK. So I think America, because we're not going to be the biggest economy soon. That's already on pace that can happen. So when and if we become the second biggest economy in the world, I don't think
Not a
like
bad position.
Huh?
That's not a bad position still. If we're not number one, we're not going to be like.
Yeah, and the stock market will still be number 1 probably for 40 years. So investment wise, we'll be safe, but just geopolitically, we won't be number 1. But will I consider moving? If I can get all my family moving one time, I'll
Tough
split
proposition.
time. I'll
Yeah.
split time.
And you brought up Taiwan, so I'll just say it real quick. It's earnings season again. So Taiwan Semiconductor will be reporting their earnings on Thursday. Ally will be reporting as well. Just real quick to know. And City as well.
I'm staying in America. Make America great again. I might run for president. Who knows? You never know what can happen.
My plan to move to Africa is still in place. I'm trying to get out here.
That's why I was going with it.
I'd
Dual
open
citizenship in
every
a couple
cell in
countries.
Attica, send them to Africa.
Yeah. We'll be in a few countries. I'll be in a few countries.
Yes.
All right, next question. All right, Cassandra, we're coming to you. Unmute yourself, please. Uh-oh.
Oh no. Fridge break?
That hasn't happened in a while.
Not on Cash App Day. Oh, baby.
Not Cash App Monday.
Cash App Monday. Trademark that. Cash
You
App
like that?
Monday.
Oh, we're gonna have to tell the people at Cash App.
Cash App, what's up?
What's up?
Cash
Jack,
App
if
Monday.
you want to come and endorse the show, we don't need sponsorship. We good. But come endorse.
Now, Cassandra going, we gotta get rid of her. Sorry, Sandra. We love you.
We need that
Sorry.
interview.
All right, let's see. Charles, unmute yourself.
Charles, what's going on?
Peace. How y'all doing? Good evening.
Everything good?
Great. How are you?
Everything's well, man. Hey, listen, man. This, considering where the market is going now, that's my son saying hi to everybody.
What's up, little man?
Hey.
Say what's up, love. Here you go. Just considering where the market is going, you guys have really. First of all, let me give you some roses, man. You guys have helped change the trajectory of me and my family. I'm in investments now. I'm excited about it, even though the market acting a little funky. I'm wondering because I'm creating. I got custodial accounts for the kids now. And I'm wondering, creating their base for their investment portfolio long term, how do I find the new Apple? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I find the next AMD? Do I go with Intel? Do I go with some of these smaller companies and hope they rise? Versus buying maybe a bunch of shares of these heavy hitters that you guys talk about. I'm trying to find, when people caught Apple early, like, how do I do that now?
Great question. Normally, I would say you shouldn't look, but P and Dom text me if I go over and give too much more than what I'm supposed to. But during times of recession, that's when you're going to have your new breed of investments pop up that could change the world. So number one, you have to go look at the top 2 venture capital firms and see which ones they are most bullish on. I think in this new era, it's either going to be a company in the Web3 crypto payment space, or it's going to be a company that finds a way that takes care of their employee base and their customer base so well, unlike something we've never seen. Like, you know how everyone's like Chick-fil-A's customer service is so great, but like, what if you actually got paid and got the same kind of customer service? I think if you begin to look over the next 2 years, you're going to find a company that is going to change the world. But first, going through like the supply chain or the money chain, start with the venture companies. If you need to look somewhere, look at Sequoia. And I would dig through. Now, you guys want the real honest answer, or you want the politically correct one?
The honest one.
Please.
You guys should probably go 2,000 pages deep on everything anyone in Sequoia writes. Here's the trick.
Sequoia Capital.
Yes. The thing is, every thought that the people who actually move the market, so they're the market makers before they become IPO, they'll tell you, and it's written in the white paper or interview, but it may be 74 minutes inside the interview. And that's why when I was pressing keys for a blueprint, right? Because it's real, if I can be honest with the audience, a lot of times people don't want to give you the real answer because it feels so daunting. This is what it takes, though. I would prefer to be right partying with them, or be on the beach right now, playing Bad Bunny, Pina Colada King.
Soon come.
Still doing the show. Before we got on the show, prep work, right? Went to sleep late, got up early, boat wasn't there. Prime example of bad customer service, right? And a commoditized product. And then skimmed through 200 pages and looked at 700 charts before we got on here. I'm going to be honest. If you guys truly want freedom, you guys have that amazing clip. Like, what is your freedom price? What does it cost? There's also a number of items that you have to execute per month to get to that goal. You're not going to get there by doing 25 items a month. I asked them, they didn't want to, I'll tell you, me personally, I still do 3,000 or 4,000 tasks a month myself, and I'm free. That's the part, like, oh, you be tripping. Man, you be acting like Button and the worst of every light-skinned black man we ever seen. It's frustrating to tell you guys, this is the blueprint, and then people be like, no, dog, I don't want to do that. When you can make NFL, NBA money doing this. So I'm begging you, and you're worthy of it. So for those of you who are not comfortable in poverty and you don't want your kids to struggle, get a certain amount of tasks done. But go through 2,000 pages on Sequoia. It'll give you the answer of what you need to find the next company that's going to change the world.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. Shout out to Adrian and Horowitz.
Absolutely.
A lot of those VC funds, that's their strategy to invest in the next big company. So if you follow the money, you follow what they're doing, it should give you some insight on what could potentially be next. Yeah, that's a whole lot of game right there. Good gym. Right
Appreciate you, Charles.
Appreciate you, brother. Sirski.
That was a great question.
More questions?
Yeah, a couple more. Let's do a couple more.
All right. You guys are in a good mood tonight.
2 years, 24 months.
Susie, unmute yourself, please.
Yes, Sirski.
Oh, and I got to say shout out to my guy, Dom. Love you dearly. And Dream Team. Happy birthday, bro.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday to Dom. Good dude.
Happy birthday, bro. What is this? What sign is this right now?
Aries, I think.
Yeah, it's Aries.
Aries?
It's a roundabout. Yeah.
Shout out to all the Aries out there.
Aries. Justin LeBoy, I'm sure, has some negative connotations about
But not this much.
Let's try Patrina.
Respectfully.
So please.
Katrina, what's up?
Hi, good night.
How's it
Oh,
going?
good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Jeanette, my hand was up.
It
Well, you're
was,
on mute,
but it
Queen.
seemed like you're ready.
My hand was up. I would like to say happy second anniversary. And thank you guys for everything that you have been doing from Barbados.
Wow.
Thank you.
Shout out to
I appreciate that.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
So you can give the opportunity to somebody else. I don't have a question right now.
All right, thank you.
Shout out to Rihanna, the first billionaire, I believe, from in Barbados. Barbados actually also became
Independent.
independent of the UK recently.
Yeah. Congratulations to everybody from the island of Barbados.
Yes,
Love is love.
very big.
#1 out there.
That's
Couple
surprising.
shows, you know.
A few shows. Not just one. Hold on. Not one show. Not just the business side. Not just the entrepreneurship category. We got the investing category.
Shout out to 19 Keys,
Come on. This is
the biggest entrepreneur podcast in existence right now, #1 on the charts.
You gotta give the Webby an Oscar for cinematography. Like,
yeah, come on. What's up with the Webbies? I looked at the nominations. I didn't see.
Keys,
come
what
on,
you
man.
shooting on? 14K? What you shooting? Man.
All right, Joseph, we're ready for you.
Joseph, what's up?
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Okay.
you?
Thank you for choosing me.
What's up,
No
bro?
problem, bro.
Been following you guys for like 2 years now. Learned a lot from you guys. I think my first year that I followed you guys, I don't know, like so many people I was following off of YouTube. Then one thing I learned from Ian, Troy, Rashad, 19 Keys, block out the noise, choose very selected few. But anyways, thank you for everything you guys put out for everybody. I just had a question. If you guys had to choose one index because you wanted to go all in on, I don't know, Apple and Microsoft, which index would you choose? I've tried to use a portfolio visualizer to look at my information and do some research, but I don't know, I'm still kind of stumped.
Good
How old are
question.
you by chance?
30,
You have kids?
3.
Man, that changed the answer. How old are they?
9, 8, and 4.
You deserve an award and a cash app. For real. To all my parents that have more than one child, I don't know how you do it. I have one beautiful baby boy and he's amazing. I'll be stressed. So for those of you with 3, if I had to pick one, the honest answer would be VGT, which is Vanguard's technology company. To on the record, I would do VGT.
Thank you.
I would do it compare to drawdown. I like VTI second. If you need a cheaper one, SPLG is a good one as well.
Thank you for that. A couple months ago, you had brought out SPLG, and I got a custodial account for my kids. I just bought SPLG for my daughter's birthday last month.
Job well
Congrats,
done.
man. That's incredible.
Congratulations.
That's fine.
That's incredible.
Are you coming to Market Mondays live?
No, I wish. I'm in Cali, so next time there's an event somewhere in LA, hopefully.
West Coast.
If I get your ticket, can you come?
Unfortunately, no. If military,
If I get your
it's hard.
ticket, your hotel and flight, can you come?
Ooh, it's hard. I'm in the military, so it's hard for me to pick up and go on the
Oh,
short
that makes
notice.
sense.
Sorry. Thank you.
Understand. Hey, salute.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Send me a DM. I'm gonna do something for you because
Thank
you
you for-
having 3 kids.
Thank you for
Are you
your
in Stock Club?
Yes, I actually just joined like a week or 2 ago.
Send me a DM and I'll put you in for life. Please, right now.
Keyword is
Thank
life.
I will.
and before you go, I would say XLK too is another one. If you said Apple and Microsoft, so 23% of XLK is Apple, 22% is Microsoft. So
ETF.
yeah, ETF.
Yeah, he
But-
said he was looking for index, but yeah,
Yeah,
ETF,
I mean,
yeah.
similar.
Similar.
But
Yeah.
he specifically said Apple and Microsoft.
Yeah,
So
that's
if you want a larger allocation towards Apple and Microsoft, that's almost half of the portfolio is Apple and Microsoft. So something to consider.
Yeah.
Now, Rashad, can you tell him where you found those percentages? Because then that would help him figure out going forward, other ETFs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a website called Google, and I just type in XLK.
You in a good
I thought
mood
you were
today,
gonna
yo.
say like ETF.com or something.
Go ETFDB.
I know, right?
Type in XLK.
Now I'm telling them what I did. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest with it.
So go to etfdb.com, type in XLK, right? You're gonna see a bunch of tabs. Click holdings, and when you click holdings, it's gonna give you the top 15 allocations by percentage. You'll see the top two are Apple and Microsoft, and it'll tell you exactly how much. So take those steps, and anybody else doesn't take those steps, or just go.
But like I said,
Or
I
just
want you to
Google
really.
it.
The reason I wasn't even being sarcastic. I was honestly telling you that's what I did. I went to Google just now. I typed in XLK allocation, and what Google did was bring me to a website, ssga.com. And I looked at the Morningstar. Morningstar is a huge company that gives information on mutual funds and index funds, things of that nature. And then I looked at XLK's their holdings, and in their holdings, I see that they have 23% Apple and 22%. Right, so it's not that hard. We complicate things. We make things more hard than they need to be. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
It's really not that
And
hard.
if you guys need someone else to endorse it, I get it. But a lot of the stuff that I'm telling you, like Kyle Bass to me, man, like inspiration. I'll say that. A lot of the information that shout out to Stock Club, I dropped that link today. A lot of that stuff I was telling you guys like 6 months prior. Like you don't have to all of business comes down to this. What is the one thing that you can do better than anyone else on the planet? And how simple can you make your processes? Even for those who like, hey, Troy Rashad, what's the one thing I can do to get my podcast popping? And no one loves the answer. Do it every week. Same with 85 South. Same with Budden. Same with Rogan. Whether you like Alex Jones been doing podcasts for like 14 years. You don't have to like him, but take the lesson from what you see. The consistency, but simplicity means everything. And if you get that, everything will become easy for you.
Awesome.
There you have it. But let me make an announcement about Houston. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show, COVID mandate has been dropped. Once again, we don't control the venues. If it's Ticketmaster venue, that wasn't on us, that was on Ticketmaster, but they've dropped the COVID mandate. You don't need to have a COVID vaccine, and you don't need to have a COVID test. Just bring a mask, just be responsible. I mean, there's 2,500 people there, so just bring a mask. But there's no COVID requirement. So that there's no barrier of entry. We're not trying to force anybody to get vaccinated. You can do whatever you want. It's a free country. But that's something I forgot to mention. So there's no excuse, especially if you live in Texas. If you live in Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, Texas.
Mo City, listen, for those of you in the Woodlands, Mo City, if you don't make it, I'm sorry. Please come. I'm begging you.
We was there.
And no, Stock Club not going back on sale. I'm not doing the Black Friday deal. So for all of you like, hey man, I want a deal. If you get the ticket, you get a hell of a deal. I'm not taking these down. I don't care what nobody say. My mama said don't drop the prices no more. So I'm listening to my mama.
Listen to my mama.
For real. Do what you want to do.
Let's take another question.
Yeah, let's do one more before we wrap this.
All right. Renee, we are coming to you. Unmute yourself, please.
Hey guys.
How you
How are
doing?
you, Queen?
Hey, Renee.
Hey, just coming in to say happy 2nd year anniversary. You guys have blessed us beyond measure, the whole community, our families, loved ones. I'm just so appreciative of y'all. Okay, and my question is, where do we go from here? What's next for y'all? EYL.
Short answer or long answer?
That's a good question. I appreciate that. It's so much stuff that we got planned, but one of the big things is EYL Kids, something that we're very passionate about. I feel like that's going to be a game changer to really, not just financial literacy, but just to give, young adults a platform to express themselves and to talk about different topics that's going on in their real topics though, not just like opening toy boxes and stuff like that, and real topics, real discussions. I feel like that's going to be big. So EYL Kids on the move, traveling, doing different events in different places, and really growing the brand, helping. It's all about helping people have voices. Market Mondays, collaboration with Ian, Rants and Gems podcast, Kiana Watson and MG the Mortgage Guy, Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, Inner Wealth podcast, shout out to Dave McCullough, that's a mental health podcast. And of course, the incomparable 19 Keys, giving him a platform, giving him a voice.
Great.
So, it's about empowering. It never really was about us. It was always about helping and empowering other people. And I feel like the more you help, the more, it comes back to you. So that's been the kind of our business model, is just to try to help as many people as possible. And it's been successful for us. And hopefully we can just help a lot more people in the next year, 2 years, 5 years.
Yeah, I'll just add to that, making this a global brand. And the reason why we travel a lot and the reason we go to those places that you've seen us in is because we want to give the voices to the people that are from there, right? We always talk about financial literacy, but we're not talking about it as being an American issue. It's a global issue. And so when we go to London, we want to tap in with the people who are from there so they can speak to those issues better than we can. And so we see ourselves as a global brand, and having those seeds planted around the world, you can be world champions of this space. And so I see that. And we're going to document the process. This is something that the world has never seen before, right? 2 men of color, 3 men of color. We've never seen this before. And so we're going to document this process, and where we're headed, the public will see.
That's what's likely.
All right.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I want to get Market Mondays to the point where we help 3 billion people. And for Red Panda, I want to create a bridge between Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and the big institutions. So then I can then bring in people from Red Panda to work inside of either our hedge fund or one of theirs. Because it's one thing to be able to. So kudos to everybody at Goldman, Guggenheim, GP, BlackRock. So yeah, because if we influence culture, which we can have a debate about what culture means, but the only way to make the change that we want, going to be very honest, in order to truly disrupt the system, you have to find a way to make a system money first and then help people. Exactly. Everyone who wants to overthrow a bank or geopolitical regime, let me be honest with you, is a dream at best. It's not the way the game is played. So if you want to go to who the real cartels are, the top 4 are. And I won't say anything more than that, but my goal is to get those who are Red Panda, who have been dedicated and who have been investing since day one and following the blueprint, those would be the one who come with us on this journey. And I want to get Market Mondays to the place where we, are helping 3 or 4 billion people a year.
And Nisi?
Oh,
from
me?
you. Yes.
My goal is to continue to learn and grow and help as many people as possible as well. So there you go.
Do it.
Jana is the smartest of the group.
Shout out.
She never tells a real goal.
See?
Jen got that PR training.
Yes.
Shout out to us earners, to the Emmys in the house, Emmy Club, mature earners.
Shout out to you guys.
Yes.
You guys are amazing.
Thank y'all.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee.
Another legendary Market Mondays.
Hold on.
No, I'm not done yet.
Oh, I'm about
I'm
to
just
say we
saying,
can't go yet.
Another legendary Market Mondays. Over $5,000 given away. 2-year anniversary. Good vibes, good energy, and it's the biggest for a reason.
Keyword.
8,200 people want to check in. Nothing can stop. Nothing can stop it. Houston, Texas. Do not play yourself and miss this. This is going to be one of those ones, man. Next Saturday, go to the link that's pinned in YouTube. Go to the link in the description of this video. The link's on our website, link in the bio, all that. If you buy a ticket, you get 1 year access to Stock Club. You get a bunch of different stuff. You get free merch. You get access to a video call.
Best business NFT.
With Ian. It's so much stuff. But even outside of that, what I think really is the true value in the whole situation, as far as being able to be in a room with 2,300 like-minded people from all over the country, all over the world, that's going to be there to network, build, collaborate. It's not going to be one of those things like you can't just walk up to somebody and say like, hey, you don't have to feel uncomfortable. Everybody's there for the same reason. So it's like, that's extremely powerful. You never know who you're going to meet. You have to get in the room. That's the number one thing. Like, you have to be in the room. In order to change your life, you have to be in the room. Can't make changes if you're not in the room. So we will be there. Janet will be there. MG, the mortgage guy, will be there. I'm sure everybody that we know is just going to be just there, mind you, just there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just there in the building. Houston is going to be a tremendous vibe the whole weekend. We'll probably do something after, have an after vibe. It's going to be vibes. It's going to be good vibes the whole entire weekend. We're going to be talking about stocks. We're going to be talking about charting. We're going to be talking about, probably have a little crypto conversation, real estate heavy. Come on,
I'll tell you all the stuff that I can't
Don't
tell
miss
you
this
on Market
opportunity.
Mondays, how to really get the bag. Please show up. And
Reward
also,
yourself.
too, I want you guys, if you want to collaborate, to tell me what you want to collaborate on while we're there. Also, I want you guys to nominate a single mom who needs help. Not a single mom who cheated on a dude and now she's single. I mean a single mom who really need help. And I'm going to take care of her. So I'm going to bring out the leather bag. And shout out to you, Queen, if you cheated on your man. We all make mistakes. We've been there. Hey, I get you. Right? That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody who actually needs help. And I'll bless her. And me and Dream Team and Red Panda family, we're going to probably put up like 10 grand for her. And if you cheated, we all can do better, right? We all can do better. It's okay. But
let me end on a higher note than that.
yeah.
I'll do this.
Troy Joy, bring the Troy Joy in.
Let me do that.
Yeah.
So obviously it's Market Monday's 2-year anniversary, but tomorrow is my 10-year anniversary. So 10 years ago tomorrow, I got to marry my best friend, my queen, my life partner, Danielle, my beautiful wife, Danielle. So the reason we're in Mexico, obviously, is to celebrate that. It's been an amazing 10 years, man. And so to share that with her, we've had 2 children during that time. It's been incredible. So I just wanted to take the time out because she's been, even the fact that we're doing this right now just lets you know the kind of woman she is. So I appreciate everybody that's been out here. Obviously, most of the people who were here 10 years ago are still here today. But even everybody coming out and celebrating this with us last night. We had a great dinner last night. We got a bunch of things planned. So I just wanted to give her just due and say happy anniversary, honey. I love you. And let's do 20, 30, 40 more years. Let's do it. Why not?
Yeah, happy anniversary for sure.
Happy anniversary.
I appreciate y'all.
Very, very important. Shout out to the good people of Mexico. Viva la Mexico. Very important. EYL Espanol on the way.
Shout out to Mike. Mike, where you at?
He right here.
Yeah.
My guy,
that, that sombrero was classic.
Very, very legendary.
No.
So yeah, you want to show the people what you look like? He always says your name.
He gonna give us scared. Let's do it. Here you go. No shoulders. Put your shoulders down. Put your shoulders down. You about to walk on here.
I got a haircut right now, but you know.
Wow.
Hold on, everybody. Yeah, cook this up so everybody sees me.
The crazy thing is, we had to actually bring a real Mexican when we came to Mexico. So it fits right in.
Yeah, I'm too totally.
My God, Mike.
I'm too totally Mexican. Watch that.
Yo, come on, stay right here. So everybody sees myself and Rashad all the time. But when you look at this is Ernie Leisure right here. This is his flower. So this is the legendary Mike. He went by. What was you before? They called you No Collar Mike, or might be Mike.
But this is fixed the collar.
We fixed the collar. The collars is now fixed.
They don't get soggy.
This is our brother, man. But we started this together, and this is us, man. So the family's here, everybody's here, man. So shout out to y'all. What we doing?
Love y'all. We're gonna catch.
Funny.
There you have it.
No, Troy, I want to tell you.
Yo, love is love, y'all. We see y'all.
Oh, tomorrow, mobile homes.
Yeah, tomorrow.
How to buy a mobile home park. The level up, $1 million conversation.
I think we got a delay.
Yeah, say that again.
Say it again.
No. Yeah, before we wrap, I want to tell you and Danielle, happy anniversary. As a man, I want to tell you, you're one of the few Black men I see that parades his marriage around in public, and that's honorable. Like, I'm being serious. No. Let's not joke. Let's be real. So, in addition to the lessons I've learned from you on Troy Joy, I just want to tell you, thank you for real. Thank you.
I appreciate you, bro.
for leading the way that you do in terms of the family and in terms of the relationship. Danny, he did not pay me to say this. I'm just letting you know. But I wanted to give you credit because I think men need more inspiration in that area. So I just want to tell you, of course, congrats on the 10-year anniversary, but I'm proud of you as a man for what you do and how you lead the family.
Appreciate you, my brother. Hey, you know who we also got to give a huge congratulations and shout out to? Our new Supreme Court Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson. She was voted in last week, so we don't want to go without acknowledging that. So congrats to her. Got a Black woman in the Supreme Court, so that is major. Shout out to her, and shout out to our brother Mano. Shout out to our brother Mano.
Shout out to Mano.
What Mano do?
The real New York.
It's
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I thought he got in trouble or something. I'm like, Mano been good. What happened?
Shout out to T.I. too, man. True class act, man. True class act. Got booed in Brooklyn, but that was a lesson. Nah, it's a lesson. It's a lesson. It's a lesson in that he's not afraid to step out of his comfort zone, and he didn't let the boos take him off his square. He stayed. He finished the show like the champion that he is. And to me, I always had respect for T.I., but that even took my respect level to a whole different level because it's not easy to perform in front of 20,000 people and to get booed and in Brooklyn and to perform the next day. And
that's the key.
It's ups and downs in this game. And it's like, at the end of the day, you can never let somebody else's perception of you dictate your confidence. You can't lose your confidence. So that's a valuable lesson for everybody out there, especially if you're going to be in the world of social media or online. There's always going to be critics. There's always going to be critics. 9 times out of 10, the critics have never done anything. That's a fact. So a critic, his job is just to critique and hate. And a performer and a champion's job is to go out there and perform at a very high level. And that's something that vast majority of people will never understand that. They'll never understand that because they'll just, they're just critics and they just hate us. And the few that's chosen, if you know, you know.
Can I critique whoever dropped the chancletas in the background or no?
Not like somebody's doing dishes.
No, I'm joking.
I mean, you have to guess who it was? Like,
yeah. I don't know why he waits to get ice to the end of the show. It's 1 minute left.
This is a part of creating live content and make it more fun. I love y'all.
Good night,
Stop
guys.
Club call 9:30. Love y'all. Peace.
Love is love, y'all. Y'all be safe. We see y'all tomorrow.
Did you say Allah?
Gotta say Allah. So before we go, and I said that Allah is gonna be reporting in earnest on Thursday. So shout out to Allah. I want to let y'all know about a great choice if you're looking to bank or invest. Ally is a leading digital financial service company with passionate customer service, innovative financial solutions, and our relentless focus on doing it right for both customers and our communities. Get with Ally so you can choose, invest, and spend on the things that matter to you. For everything that we need, we're all better off with an Ally. Shout out to the Ally team. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to the whole city of Detroit. Like I said, Ally has a lot of renovations is going on right there. So we were there earlier in the year, and I was obviously there for a day, but you could just see the level of construction that's happening in downtown Detroit. So make sure if you don't know about Detroit, get in tap with Detroit, tap in with somebody from Detroit. A lot of things that happen in there. A predominantly Black city it can be and it should be on the rise, and we're gonna make sure that we see to it. So
and rest in peace. Rest in peace to quarterback of the Washington football team.
Well, he was on the Steelers.
Steelers.
Drafted by Washington.
He was drafted by the Steelers. Drafted by Washington and played for the Steelers.
Yeah, they let him go after 3 years, but he was the backup quarter for the Steelers.
Sean Haskins.
Yeah, right? was killed in a car accident. He was hit by a truck.
Rest in peace. 23?
So young, yeah, 23, 24 years old.
He was 23?
Yeah. Very young, man. Tragic. Dwayne Haskins, right? Yeah, Dwayne Haskins, yeah.
Spend time with your loved ones, man. That's what really matters. That's real wealth. Health and spending time with people you love. Please.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. All right, y'all. Love is love.